Hello Year 2, welcome to Week 3, Lesson 2. For this lesson you will need a pencil and a piece of paper. If you don't have these already, pause the video to get yourself organised. In this lesson we are going to learn how to use conjunctions. We are going to learn how to use the word and, but, because, and so. When do we use and in a sentence? We use and to join two sentences together to create one sentence. For example, Mary helped the soldiers. Florence helped the soldiers. We have two sentences which we can rewrite to say Mary and Florence helped the injured soldiers. There's and. Mary went back to live in Kingston. Edwin went back to live in Kingston. We can join these two short sentences and say Mary and Edwin went back to live in Kingston. I like eating apples. I like eating grapes. We can create one sentence by saying I like eating apples and grapes. But. We use but to connect two ideas together. When we use but, it explains why something did or didn't happen. We can also use to explain why you did or didn't do what you were supposed to do. I'm going to show you how we use but. I was going to do my homework, but what reason could we give? Why didn't you do your homework? Pause the video to have a think. I was going to do my homework, but I wasn't feeling well last night. Or I could say, I was going to do my homework, but I lost my sheet. I was going to tidy my bedroom, but what reason could we give here? Pause the video to have a think. I was going to tidy my bedroom, but I watched a movie instead. I was going to tidy my bedroom, but I decided to bake some cupcakes. When do we use because in a sentence? We use because to give a reason to explain why something happened. This conjunction extends a simple sentence because we give the reason why and we add extra detail. I was late for school. This is a simple sentence and makes sense on its own. But when we add because, we give more detail. For example, why do you think you might be late for school? Pause the video to have a think. I was late for school because I didn't hear my alarm clock. The reason I was late for school? Because the alarm clock didn't go off. I was late for school because I couldn't find my book bag. Why were you late for school? Because you couldn't find your book bag. Mary and Edwin went back to Kingston. Why did they go back to Kingston? Pause the video to have a think. Mary and Edwin went back to Kingston because Edwin wasn't well. The reason here, Edwin wasn't well. Mary went to Crimea. This is a simple sentence and makes sense by itself. Why did Mary go to Crimea? Pause the video to have a think. That's right, Mary went to Crimea because she wanted to help the injured soldiers. So, when you use so, it can be used to give a reason and explain why something happened. Mary went to Crimea. Why did she go? Pause the video to have a think. We just did this one. Here we go. Mary went to Crimea so she could help the injured soldiers. You will have noticed we had Mary went to Crimea twice for the conjunction so and because, but the ending of the sentence was slightly different. Ali follows the Joe XP lesson every morning. We can add so to explain why he joins in. Ali follows the Joe XP lesson every morning so he can stay fit. The reason being he wants to stay fit. Here are some sentences for you to do, and you need to think, which conjunction would you use? You have and, but, because. If I was going to do this, I would put a conjunction each time and then read out the sentence. So I would say, Bruce had a drink and he was thirsty. Bruce had a drink, but he was thirsty. Not sure. Bruce had a drink because he was thirsty. I think it's because. Let's see if we're right. There we go. Bruce had a drink because he was thirsty. The dog was digging a hole. He wanted to bury his bone. Can you try this one? Pause the video and put the conjunction in as I did before. Read the sentence with each conjunction and see which one makes sense. Did you get because? The dog was digging a hole because he wanted to bury his bone. Let's try the next one. Van Gogh painted the sunflowers, the potato eaters. Pause the video to try each conjunction. Which one would you choose? That's right. And Van Gogh painted the sunflowers and the potato eaters. I was going to ride my bike. It started to rain. Pause the video to have a think which conjunction you would use. That's correct. But I was going to ride my bike, but it started to rain. It was raining outside. I put my wellies on. Pause the video to choose the correct conjunction. That's right. So, it was raining outside, so I put my wellies on. Now it's your turn. We'd like you to write 2 sentences for each conjunction. If you get a little bit stuck, here are some sentence starters. Mary went to Crimea. Mary became a nurse. Mary became famous. Mary had a hotel. Sometimes you can choose 2 or 3 different conjunctions for the same sentence, but the ending of your sentence is different. Once you have written 2 sentences for each conjunction, which would make it 8 sentences altogether, we would like you to upload them onto Tapestry. Before you go, let's write a sentence together. I've chosen the sentence starter, Mary had a hotel in Panama. Which conjunction could I use? I'm going to choose but. What did Mary do with the hotel in Panama? She gave it to her brother. Why did she give it to her brother? She didn't like living in Panama. Mary had a hotel in Panama, but she gave it to her brother as she, that's not correct. Let's cross it out and start again. Oh, my sentence. Oh, let me go back and reread it. Mary had a hotel. Mary had a hotel in Panama, but she gave it to her brother as she didn't. As she didn't, or I need apostrophe, didn't like living there, full stop. Let's reread it to make sure we haven't missed anything out. Mary had a hotel in Panama, but she gave it to her brother as she didn't like living there. I'm happy with that. We'd like you to write 8 sentences altogether. Make sure you write 2 sentences for each conjunction. Don't forget to upload them onto Tapestry. We look forward to seeing your work. Thank you, Year 2.